Hi everyone! Welcome to WakeBreak Yoga with UC Davis. My name is Linda Nueva and I'm a certified Iyengar Yoga teacher. So we'll be doing about 3 poses today and we will be doing some healthy modifications for the knees. So if you have a blanket or a towel, fold it up neatly. I've got mine set up like a postage stamp. And I've also got a folded up mat that we'll use for later. If you don't have one of these, find a towel, a long dish towel, something that you can fold in this kind of shape. Sit on the blanket with the legs stretched out in front of you. If you're menstruating, then separate the feet hip width apart. We'll start in the first pose, which is Dandasana, staff pose. Point the toes towards the ceiling and let the back of the heels gently dig into the mat as the thighs release towards the floor. Place the fingers by the hips and lift the chest. Dandasana is the foundational seated pose. Every seated pose is some variation of Dandasana. And we'll come from staff pose, Dandasana, into Malasana. Malasana, which is garland pose, but is a form of a squat. And I'll show a knee modification as well. Be in Dandasana, bend the knees, keep the feet together unless you're menstruating, and place the backs of the heels on the blanket. Roll over the tops of the toes and keep the knees in. So if you need more space to support the heels, like a second blanket, by all means do so. Press the back of the heels into the blanket and lift the torso so that the lower abdomen doesn't crunch down on top of the upper thighs. Extend the arms in front of you in line with the shoulders. To come out of the pose, place the hands in front of you, straighten the legs, place the hands on the hips and come up. So Malasana, it's a form of a squat. If you have knee issues, come to a wall, join the feet, place the arms in front of you in line with the shoulders, and bend the knees just a bit. Take the lower abdomen in, just like the other form of Malasana I showed. Dig the heels into the floor and see if you can to what extent you can lower yourself down. Inhale, lift up, and bring the hands to the side. Our next pose is Chatucha Padasana. It's a back bend. And I'm going to show you how to do it today to take care of your knees. Or if you have knee problems and you're doing this pose at any time, this is a super healthy variation to do it. Take the mat or blanket and fold it into a long rectangle and place it towards the lower quadrant of your mat. So Chatucha Padasana has a couple different names that you'll hear in different yoga traditions. Some people call it bridge pose. Some people call it 4-footed back bend. There's a bunch of different names for it, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I'll do a silent demonstration and then we'll do it together. So as I'm doing this silent demonstration, you can observe a couple points. My heels are on top of the folded blanket, and I'm going to keep my knees in towards the midline the whole time. So my knees are not going to splay out to the side. The knees will be in line with the hips. Here's what the pose looks like. Then I'm rolling over to my side and coming out. Maybe not so gracefully. Okay, let's do it together. Chatucha Padasana, sometimes called bridge pose, really straightens the legs so that by having this cylinder on the mat to place my heels and protect my knees, gives me all the benefits of the pose, strengthening my legs, getting in a healthy back bend that has sort of an exhilarating effect, but with no negative knee effect. Sit in front of you, sit on the mat, place the heels on the cylinder, and let the toes be on the floor. Use the outer hands and bring the knees in line with the hips. Place the buttocks forwards. Consciously lie down in the center of the mat. Press the heels into the mat. Feel the toes on the floor and keep the knees in line with the hips. So if they're out here, contract the hips and bring the outer hips and bring the knees in line with the hips. Lift the hips, lift the hips, lift the hips. Roll the left shoulder under. Roll the right shoulder under. Let the abdomen, don't puff it up, but let the abdomen recede. Lift the sternum. Roll the shoulders under even more, even more. And keep the knees in line with the hips. Exhale down. Lower the buttocks to the floor. Roll to the right. Sit back down on your blanket in Dandasana. On an exhalation, bring the toes, bend the knees and bring the toes in. Place the heels on the blanket. Roll forwards for Malasana. So in this form of squat, the knees are together as opposed to out to the side. Extend the arms in line with the shoulders. Lift the lower abdomen. Place the hands in front of you on the floor. Lift the buttocks up. Straighten the legs. Place the hands on the hips and come up, leading from the tops of the shoulders. Thank you so much, everyone. I look forward to practicing yoga with you again. Bye for now.